like to invite Marx and Thuận. We are talking about the technologies or agility. It's a very interesting topic as well. Yeah, welcome, Mark.
Okay, thanks for your contribution, Steve. The people who do not know Cadena, so maybe I first introduce you a little bit. So Cadena is a Dutch company, so most of the management is Dutch. We're headquartered in Singapore, but we started actually 20 years ago as a general IT service company. So we did anything from websites to hardware, outsourcing IT personnel. At some point, we rolled into customized software. And about 15 years ago, we developed the first HR and payroll solution. The last 10 years or so, it's the only thing we do. And we localized that for the entire Southeast Asian region. So besides Vietnam and Singapore, we also present in Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, etc. And we offer a quite diverse product line for solutions for companies with about 20 staff, like a SaaS product, to a full HR system, which will be used by multinationals. So in Vietnam, we have about 90 staff and close to 300 plus customers. And this is a small selection of our client base. So you can see that these are mostly from our high-end products, which is called the Cadena HRM series. So we work across a wide range of different industries. So from retail to hospitality, manufacturing, trading, and for companies with 100 staff all the way up to companies with 10,000 plus 10,000 staff. Okay, what we have seen during COVID is a couple of HR challenges that came up, which can be solved through HR technology, but my colleague will answer that. So I'll focus first some of the challenges we saw. So it will be mostly within 3 areas. So trust, communication, and rapid policy change. So how was attendance managed pre-COVID? So you'll be surprised actually how many companies in this region are still doing a lot of manual processes. So from physical sign-offs on overtime claims or leave requests, or managing attendance through a physical fingerprint machine, or proximity card reader, and then all the validation was done still mostly manual. Employee performance, a lot of it was based actually on day-to-day interactions between employees and their managers. So if you work from 9 to 5 and you just showed up during that time, then a large portion was based on just attendance alone. So what happened during COVID? Of course, everybody switched to remote working. So that was done quite abruptly. If you're talking about Vietnam, it was from on a Thursday we were notified that we have to start working from home from Friday. So there was a big change. And what is then the key challenge for HR, but also for department heads, is how to deal with employee attendance, right? Because there's no really a clear line between work and home time, and employees do not. I think a lot of companies actually do not have the technology in place to manage the clock in and out of employees and the validation that they are actually working their contractual hours. In terms of communication, I would say there are like two main areas which can provide a challenge for HR. So the first one would be to deal with all the abrupt government and health authority policy changes and how to communicate this very rapidly to employees, and also define like how you as a company works towards fulfilling those policies. But another aspect will be all the informal day-to-day communication with employees. So of course it's hard to judge employee well-being if there's no face-to-face interaction. So like normally those kind of conversations, they will took place maybe during lunchtime together, or maybe just a face-to-face interaction with HR or the manager as part of an appraisal conversation. But with working from home, that has become a little bit more difficult to judge. One thing in line with this would be all the different kind of policies that changed overnight. So you can think of some of the government schemes that impact all the payroll and tax calculations, the attendance and leave policy changes. So maybe from working standard from 9 to 5, maybe a company would allow flexible working hours when working from home. Flexible compensation models and maybe payroll withholding is something that you saw happening quite frequently, especially for businesses that had some difficulty during COVID, but also maybe policy changes due to a change of business model. So especially when you're looking at retail operations, for example, they moved quite quickly, or actually had to move quite quickly from direct selling through stores towards online selling, and that of course requires a different kind of a set of skills that employees require, but also all the policies behind that. As mentioned during one of my previous slides, is a lot of the day-to-day approvals were still managed mostly by physical forms. If you think about overtime, of course, this has had to change when working from home. And then I would like to give the word to Thun. So he will focus on these three areas where HRTech can support.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So yeah, the last part is mine, and hope everyone would have still have good feeling to continue with me in 10 or 15 minutes. So I just would like to highlight what HRTech can support you in terms of adaptations to the new change of the crisis period, how you can engage with the employee, or how you can manage the employee when they all working from home, or let's say just a part of employee working in the office, the manager's home, and all those kind of scenario. So as Mark mentions, and he also brought up briefly. So in the last few months, the government published some change in terms of employee contributions or the company contributions to the employee insurance, how the trade union can be paid, and how would be the support or the reimbursements or allowances that the government support and pay the employee. So to handle those quick changes in a quick period, how the HRTech or a HRIS can support the HR team to be able to do the quick change and handle all the proper calculations to provide the good and the proper pay to the staff. The approval can be also changed. So when the employee or working in the office, you might require one level of approval because you see the staff every day. But when all working from home, you might require, like, for example, 2 levels of approval. So how you can deal with those change when you use HRIS systems, and of course how you can manage email performance. So the trend now and also the common needs now, and how as the provider Academia and also the consultancy from Mr. Steve, we always encourage that the HR team should share all the tools they might have to the employee themselves. So the employee should be able to access to all the announcements, to the news of the HR of the company. The employee should submit the leave and check the leave or check the pay themselves. They can also track all the overtime and the times is working data themselves, not just sending an email every day to HR team or make a call to HR team in daily basis. So from our side as the HRIS provider, we try to go with that part. So we are moving on the self-service. We call self-service functions are the functions that employee can use from the mobile platform. So employee can just download the app and use. So the first part is the clock in and out. So employee can work anywhere. They can clock in, and manager can know where they are now, which address, or if they might go to different office, they can just clock in, clock out, and the manager or HR know which address, which office they just came. Okay, so I will show our product quickly. And show you also how the employee can use HR tools to interact with the HR department, and how HR team can use HR tools, HRIS to change, to do the quickly change of all the change from the government, from your internal policy, for example. So since the entire applications are all web-based, can be also on the mobile app. So no one from your organization need to install anything onto their laptop or their PC. So they just need to go to the browser, log into their ID. So this is one of the employee ID. So the most common functions that we are promoting now is of course on the announcements, the document policy, the change of the government policy or the survey. HR can just push onto the portal, and employee will get the real-time notifications, and they can access to the application, so they can see, let's say, sorry. So let's say announcement back to work, they receive the notifications. Let me refresh this. They receive the notifications and they can just access to the portal to view the data. Back to this. And any policy document that you might change in this period, for example, the policy change in terms of the COVID leave. Let's say you allow the employee to take half month leave, and you name it COVID leave, and you can make it, let's say, 50% of salary pay during those periods. So those kind of things you can just push onto the portal. The team contact informations or the company team member can be also public, so employee can easily access to all the team member email or information, so they can easily get the phone number or email address to contact to the team member in case of any emergency case. And the most important is we always keep the manager up to date for all the actions they need to do. So when they work at home, they receive all the notifications, email, and they can just get onto the portal to do the leave approval, to conduct to put their review for employee monthly assessment, or to approve or for any timesheet submission. Let me try to log in with the Chrome, and I will log in with the admin account or HR account. So you can see how the HR admin can easily change the policy when the government changes insurance rate, contributions policy, or you can add the leave yourself. Okay, let me log into this. So on the self-service portal, because you can see here, if the employee want to submit the leave, they can just quickly go to the leave and submit the leave themselves. Yeah. So the entire application will be responsive to the employee mobile phones. So when they access to them on their mobile phone, it will be responsive to this screen. Performance appraisal will be an important part in this period. So we provide the tools for the manager where they can access to the employee performance appraisal form or competency form. So they will be notified. They say they need to do the My Employee Performance one form, so they can access the form, and they can go straight to the form to put their reviews or assessment. Review and assessment can be flexible configured based on the day-to-day task or monthly performance, or can be on the skills or competency or attitude. And they can quickly see how the employee rate themselves in this period and what are the level they want to give the employee. So this this process can be built, and the employee and manager can work together in daily basis, even they're all working from home. Okay. The final part I would like to show you quickly is the admin part, where the HR can quickly change, can quickly create a new leave type, or change the insurance rate. So as you know, let's say from this October, the insurance rate of the company part in Vietnam, because some of our friends joins in this events are from other country. So insurance percentage of company part will be also decreased. And how you can make those quick changes in the applications. So we do recognize that the flexibility of an applications, IT application, is very important, because in the functionality wise, you might have almost the same between the other platform, but how one platform can support you to make quickly change without any customizations, without any long testing effort, would help you in this period. So I will give you one example. For example, if the government would change the insurance percentage, what we can support is HR can access to the insurance data setup and change the rate, and you give the date. So when you do that, then, for example, I access to insurance contribution percentage. So you can make the change with the date and with